here. We're going to get started with the review in a second. Just doing some sharing to a couple groups and everything. Maybe this may be easier to share these things across these platforms. So we had a pretty darn good stand and deliver, if I would say so myself. We had what, seven matches, 6 on the main card, 1 on the pregame show. We're gonna talk about all of this in just a second. I have to say, I think my predictions were just god awful. I was through. I said in the prediction show, this is so hard to predict, and NXT Stand and Deliver has shown up to be the first one. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and let's talk about it. Start off with the kickoff show match, the NXT Women's Tag match, Dakota Kai and Miguel Gonzalez against Toxic Attraction. Now, my thinking in predicting Toxic Attraction was the fact that, first of all, you just put these two together, back together on Tuesday. That's one. And two, Raquel and Dakota Kai, they're ready for the main roster. There's no need to keep them in NXT. So I did not see this coming where they went ahead and they beat Toxic Attraction to become the new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions for the second time. And there we have it. Toxic Attraction, and now just rudderless. So I'm very shocked that Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez won. To me, I thought they were going to be on to the main roster, just like they're not. So it is what it is. I had it at 2.5 stars. It was just it was a pretty good opener. A pretty good thing for the kickoff show. The opener was the NXT North American Championship in the main roster. Cameron Grimes, Grayson Waller, Santos Escobar, Solo Sikoa, and the champion Carmelo Hayes. I selected Grayson Waller because I thought that they were, they would be putting him in the opportunity to get it. What I didn't realize or I forgot to talk about was the fact that they brought the thing with Cameron Grimes that he was doing this for his late father, and of course that was what was going on, and that should have been right in front of my face. It wasn't. Um, some pretty good action here. The spot of the show was Richie Waller climbing a big thing, trying to do an elbow drop on Carmelo Hayes. He either rolls off Richie Waller climbing a big thing, trying to do an elbow drop on Carmelo Hayes. He either rolls off or gets pulled off by Trick Williams. Richie Waller goes through a ladder that's been bridged between the ring and the barricade, and he goes down. As part of an elite match. After Santos Escobar takes care of something, we get a top rope cave in. We take care of Carmelo Hayes, I believe. We get a top rope cave in onto Santos Escobar from Cameron Grimes. He then scurries up the ladder and gets the title. He's now the new North American champion. Really nice, good action. I start to wonder if I am starting to get too used to these ladder matches, multi-man ladder matches. I wonder, there was a nice spot where Solo Sikoa had put three guys, Grayson Waller, Carmelo Hayes, and Santos Escobar, I think it is, and stacked them up in between ladders and squashed them all. So that was pretty nice for that to happen. So, I give it 4 stars. That was really good. Nice to start the main card off correct. Next was Ciampa versus Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo looking to become the Don of NXT, and to do that, he needs to make Ciampa sleep with the fishes, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and it took a while for this to get going, but I think after when it did get going, it started a good. Tommaso Ciampa started off doing he did Triple H spit thing, and he was doing Triple H's moves, his knees, the stuff Triple H does with the knees, and did spine buster. He also did Shawn Michaels thing, taunt and stuff like this. He did that. He was. He was really into it. He had been talking about this being his last match at NXT. I don't know. He was on the main roster. That's why I think he's going, but some may say he just may just go and retire. Tommaso Ciampa has not wanted to travel on the main roster, so who knows what's next for him. But Tony D'Angelo tried to get a crowbar, and it was knocked out, but then he used a low blow. And early in the match, Tommaso Ciampa went outside and pulled up. He had a hard time pulling up the pad over the concrete. But actually, what it probably it was a padding over maybe a center padding. I don't think that was actually the actual concrete because it was black. I don't think it was the actual concrete. But he pulled it up and came back later. They get it done. D'Angelo get a DDT on that. Took him in the ring, kicked him in the head. 1, 2, 3. D'Angelo wins. As always, you go out, you put the guy over, unless you Trish Stratus. She doesn't put over anybody. No, I'm just kidding. And then Ciampa got the thank you Ciampa. And if you was on Peacock Plus or the network in another country, you saw Triple H come out to embrace Ciampa. If you were like me and you only got the $4.99 version of Peacock, you did not see that. You saw commercial. Although they came back and they replayed it, so that was nice of them to do that. So yeah, we'll see what's up next for Ciampa. Be interesting to very soon. Next was the NXT Tag Title match, the 3-way between Creed Brothers, MSK, and the Imperium. And again, with me thinking that They was all about the Imperium and and Imperium just to be. I was thinking who was coming up to the main roster. Who's going to come up to the I thought that Gunther and Imperium could be coming up to the main roster. So I went there, and so that's why I chose Freed Brothers. But I didn't think they were too fond of MSK. I was thinking that maybe they would probably do like MSK was the ones that jumped Freed Brothers a week ago, and they still could do that, but they put the powers back on MSK. So yeah, it was nice action. Loved it. I love the fact that they are now doing the when it's a three team, all three teams, one member of all three teams are in the ring at the same time. I think that is a better way of doing it. So instead of having to tag, and then for some reason you end up tagging somebody who's not you. Why would you tag yourself out if you don't have a chance to win? So I'm glad they decided to change that. I said it was very good. 3 1/4 stars. MSK won. So they have that. Did that. The NXT Women's title is next. Fatal 4-way as Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai winning the Dusty Cup decided to take their title shot not against Toxic Attraction but against Mandy Rose and be added to the title match that was made between Cora Jade and Mandy Rose. We made a Fatal 4-way, and this was some nice action, really cool stuff here. When I was choosing, I was thinking, it has to be Cora Jade, right? Because they're going with all of the new NXT kids. It has to be, Cora J. That's why I picked Creed Brothers. That's why I picked Grayson Waller. Because they were going with the people from, part of the new NXT 2.0 people, right? No, not necessarily. Um, they didn't do it this year. I didn't think Io Shirai would win. Maybe I didn't think Keely Ray would win either. Io Shirai was one of the people I thought that would maybe go to the main roster. Um, So yeah, it ended up being the pump knee to Io Shirai from Mandy Rose, and 1, 2, 3, she retains the NXT Women's Championship, which is now white. Like just like the women's champions on the main roster are white. So hers are white. So yeah, she retains, and now she is the only person with the championship in on NXT. I really have this feeling for some reason. I think they may do the thing where they put Oscar on NXT, bring her back on NXT, and have Oscar fight Mandy Rose. And she's talking about being the big NXT champion of all time. Many women may say that was actually Oscar who was the women's NXT champion. So that's the way you see on that. I thought it was 3 3/4 stars. That was really nice. Next was LA Knight versus Gunther. We didn't get any of Gunther did the chops, but we didn't get any of the loud, major chops. And this was let's say back and forth, pretty good match. Again, no real problems with it. LA Knight is he is what it is. He's getting over. He's getting the over. So that is interesting. And fans are still chanting Walter at Gunther. So they did. I think they did a really good job. They had 3 stars. Gunther won with the power bomb. So again, I think, and they changed Imperium's music also. They changed Imperium's music as well. And I think for me, I think it is. You can see, Imperium and Gunther on the main roster. I think they would be good, but maybe they won't do that because they would be heel faction, and there's rumors that Edge they're going to have a heel faction on Raw. Damian Priest and maybe one other person. So who knows? I don't think you're not going to move them to SmackDown when you got the Bloodline there. They're the heel faction on that one. So it is what it is. But so maybe they're not going to the main roster. Maybe they're staying on NXT. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was just fine. And finally, NXT title match between Dolph Ziggler and Braun Breaker. This one was a really big shot. Dolph Ziggler retained, beating Braun Breaker. It is insane. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure. Is Braun Breaker going to not go to the main roster? It was everybody right? Right? Vince took one look at Braun Breaker the other night when he went on to Monday Night Raw and said, "I need him on Raw. I need him on Raw." Did he actually say that? So I'm not sure. But what is? So I'm not sure what has happened. But the match was good. Braun Breaker hit 3 spears on Dolph Ziggler. Hit him with his military press into a power slam. Kicked out of that. Braun Breaker kicked out of the zigzag. And finally, he got thrown into the middle turnbuckle that had been exposed by Dolph Ziggler earlier in the match. Super kick 1, 2, 3, and there you have it. Dolph Ziggler retains the NXT title. So yeah, I'm shocked. I am shocked that Dolph Ziggler retained. I'm shocked at a lot of these results. I really am, because they've been so interested in trying to do this NXT 2.0, but they really didn't give NXT 2.0 anything, any victory really. As I look at my predictions, right, the only 2 I got right were Tony D'Angelo and Gunther win. They had Braun Breaker to win, he didn't win. Had Corey Jade to win, he didn't win. Richard Waller to win, he didn't win. Imperium to retain, they didn't win. And Tasha Chapman to retain, they didn't win. I went 2 and 5 for NXT Stand and Deliver. Wow. I think this just might be a bad weekend for your boy. And ever since I've started keeping track of my predictions, I haven't had a thing like this since NXT Takeover in Your House, where I went 2 and 4 in 2020. I went 2 and 4 in that one. I went 2 and 5 with this one. Man, bad prediction. Well, we got more wrestling headed to you tonight. We got WrestleMania coming up in a couple hours, and we have also have reaction to WrestleMania Saturday afterwards as well. So you'll see my lovely face once again later on this evening. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Post any comments you have down below to me what you guys thought of NXT Stand and Deliver. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.